Hey, Dr. Larry here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. So today I received the message right when I woke up this morning. So this morning my mind was going a million miles a minute. And it was like, well, what if this happens? And what if I can't do this? And all these things that I had to do. And I was worried about the outcome of what was happening. And I heard this voice. It was my daughter's voice. A couple years ago, there was this saying that she used to say all the time. And the way she said it was so funny. She would always say, "It is what it is." And so I was like, okay. So when I got that message, "It is what it is," that made me start to think about where my mind was going and what was happening. And so I carried along in my morning, and then I went for a walk, and I asked, okay, what message do people want to hear today? And it is what it is. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to expand on is what it is. So basically what this means is that there's so many things that are out of our control, that when we come from the space of it is what it is, it frees us up from trying to control everything, okay? So think about it. When there's like so much going on in the world today, right? And there's so many people that are caught up in the atrocity of things, in the fear of things, in the inhumanity of, like it's like big stuff that's happening. And what's happening though with the people is that we're getting stuck in it. We are getting immersed in that energy, and we are being bombarded with all of this fear and all of this anger and all of this hate, and then we get sucked into it. And part of the reason why we get sucked into it is because we feel like we're victims, like we're helpless, like we can't do anything, okay? So when we come from this space of feeling that we can't do anything, we get angry because we're afraid. But what happens when we do that is we add to all of the chaos that's happening in the world, okay? And understandably so, because if that's the way that we've been programmed to be, then that's all we know. So we're offering a different perspective today, a perspective of it is what it is, okay? If you can't change it, if you can't do something to change it, surrender to it is what it is. If there is something you can do to change it, by all means do that. But if you can't control the outcome, you have to at some point surrender to it is what it is. And when we get to the place of surrendering, of just saying, okay, this is what it is, there's nothing I can really do about it right now, then you can relax a little bit. And when that energy starts to dissipate, your mind can go into another space of, what can I do to shift it? What can I do within myself so that I am not so much affected by what's happening, okay? So when that happens, you start to think, okay, what can I do to help me move through this? Okay, so for example, when 2020 hit, everything changed, right? So the way that I used to do my sessions, I used to walk around the park with my clients. It was out in nature, we met in person, it was awesome. And then 2020 hit, and when it was kind of clear that it wasn't gonna pass in 3 weeks like they said it was like, oh man, what am I gonna do about this? And I was angry about it because I didn't know how to be any other way in my sessions. But once I got through that anger, meaning once I surrendered to what was happening outside of me that I didn't have any control over, then I began to think, okay, what can I do? How can I move with this change? And so what happened, I started doing my sessions over the phone and on Zoom. And because of that, I was able to help serve people all over the country, all over the world. Whereas if I stayed in my anger, I wouldn't have been able to help anybody. And even after all of the restrictions lifted and I went back to just walking around the park, I could only help people that were in my area. So what they're saying is that when you surrender to things that are out of your control, you get more into a space of learning how to work things out and to allow the universe to work things out for you. So I hope that helps. It certainly has helped me. If you haven't already, check out my website. I do sessions for people. Basically what I do is I help people get back into their true essence. They get in alignment with your soul's purpose and to help you realize that you are powerful. And I hope you check it out. I hope you have a beautiful day.